So I really disagree with the transgender movement, and I think the idea of gender affirmation healthcare is backwards and detrimental to people. So I saw Vivian Elon Musk's child, in a Teen Vogue interview, crying, talking about how gender affirmation care has been life-saving to them. So I just want to say I could really care less how somebody wants to present themselves. I don't care if a man wants to look like a woman or if a woman wants to look like a man because it makes them feel more comfortable. I think that people can dress and style themselves however they want. What I disagree with is the medical transition aspect, and I just do not think that most people undergoing medical transition understand the actual risks of it. Maybe there are some people that do, but I think that if most people who were contemplating undergoing a medical transition actually learned certain things, I think that they would not do it medically. So just some things that I've learned about medically transitioning, well, almost everything that I've learned about a medical transition is that it damages the body in ways that are irreversible. And I think that it is actually evil that there are actual healthcare providers out there. It's really not that surprising though, because I don't have that much respect in general for any professional title. But there are people with medical degrees, doctors, who are just promoting absolute lies about medical transition. And some of the things that I have learned about medical transition have absolutely blown my mind. And the way that I became interested in this topic was growing up in, I guess, the early 2000s and the 2010s is when I think the pride and the trans movement came in really heavy into the mainstream, sort of yeah. And I remember for most of my life seeing the societal rhetoric towards transgenderism, and just from all of the honestly fear-mongering and canceling that happened to anyone who, basically what I perceived media-wise is that if anyone is against any aspect of transgenderism, basically, then they just hate trans people. And when I was I think it wasn't until my late teenage years, I started asking questions about what transgenderism is. So I thought about transphobia and how that word just gets thrown around. If anybody, doesn't just fully accept and swallow the idea of transgenderism, they would be labeled as a transphobe, basically. And I was afraid of being transphobic. I didn't want to be transphobic by accident somehow. I didn't want to be perceived that way. But then I realized I am afraid of being afraid of something that I do not even understand. And so that catapulted me into researching, basically, really a deep dive into what transgenderism is, how it has developed historically, as well as Yeah, basically that, how it has come into the present day. um and I spent months researching this. I still research this because it is so fascinating to me, and the things that I began learning, especially regarding medical transition, were so fascinating to me, honestly, in a morbid way, which is, it's kind of sad. It's sad. Honestly, I feel tremendous empathy towards, well, empathy, I don't know how to put this. I feel like I haven't, I feel, yeah, yeah. I'm not sure if empathy is the right way to put it, because I don't, I've never identified as trans or felt like I wanted to not be a specific gender, but I do feel like, because of my research, I have a lot of understanding of the struggles that people who medically transition undergo, actually, because I have dove into these niches regarding it, that I think, unless it's a topic that really fascinates someone, the average person is not going to know certain things about it. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. It is absolutely terrifying what hormone replacement therapy does to the human body. I think that it is absolutely evil that hormone replacement is even considered a therapy. Um, yeah. And I have watched surgeries. I've watched male to female, female to male bottom surgeries. I've watched double mastectomies. I've watched facial feminization surgeries. And it's so unbelievable to me, like, what happens in this world, and especially what is happening at any time, really, in this world, but especially under the, like, what is legal, basically, that these surgeries are being done legally and for profit is terrifying and fascinating, but it is fascinating to the detriment of this group of people who are undergoing them, who are willing to undergo them. And I feel so bad. I feel like people are being lied to. I feel like we're all being lied to about so many things, honestly, in this world. And I am so happy that I have taken a closer look at things that have been confusing to me, because upon learning a lot about them, I am way less confused by them. So, yeah. That's I guess, yeah, it's just a rant about that, because it's just something I think about a lot, honestly, and I just see it in the media all the time, and I just hear things that people say about this topic, and I can't believe it. It's but at the same time, I can believe it, because of the way that people are. So yeah. Yep. That's it.